Hey guys, how you doing again? I'm Chris Rohde from National RV Detroit. I'm going to be going through this walkthrough of this used 2018 Keystone Laredo. Okay, it's a 335 MK, so MK mid kitchen. You guys know me. I like to start at the front, so we'll start at the front. They did a little unique. As you go up in levels, every manufacturer has a good, better, and best. And in my opinion, this would be the best category for Keystone. Okay. So, and again, that's my opinion. It's got a fiberglass cap on the front of it with the LED lights. Makes it nice, more aerodynamic. It's painted front cap. And they put this rubber, like a rhino liner on this front part. Makes it easy for rock chips and stuff. So, just a little added piece of quality. Comes with this nice bike rack on the front. So you can take, look, in this case, looks like 2 bikes. Electric tongue jack to get your trailer on and off your vehicle a lot easier. And always on these LCI jacks, they have a manual override crank. In this case, you'll either have to remove this part and go down to the crank handle so you can manually crank it in and out if you have a jack issue, or you'll have to remove the bike rack to get it. You got 2 30-pound LP tanks on this one. Again, always lefty loosey, righty tighty. And this one on the regulator has a switch over. So if you have it drawing from one bottle, you want to make sure you flip the regulator over. It's in the center, so that it works off that proper regulator or proper bottle. LED light switches on the inside. I'll show you how to turn those on and off on the inside. Moving along to the storage compartment. Pretty cool. This is actually a routered out door, so it's actually the same thickness as the wall. It's a slam baggage door. It's not one of those cheap flimsy doors that you can just rip off or break. Magnets to hold it up. Always be cautious with the magnets with little kids so the door doesn't come down on their heads, but the magnet holds it up. Here's that manual override that I was talking about, crank handle. You can also use that on your jacks on the other side. These are electric jacks, but this would also help manually bring your jacks down or up if you have a no power situation or a bad motor. Electric awnings, I got both of them out. Remember again, you always want to bring them in under high weather situations. You know, when the wind picks up, you always want to bring your awnings in. It's always. But you can tighten them up, or you can pitch them if you'd like. This is how you pitch this guy. By pulling down on this arm, allows you to bring the awning down. I'll do it in this video on both sides, so you can see it. If you want to, get the sun out of your face, or bring your awning down a little bit. Now, if you tighten these up, remember, it can become a parachute, right? Because you're making it taut. These shocks can no longer compress. So I always recommend leave it alone, leave it in the area that it is when it comes out, and you'll always be in good shape. And remember to bring it in when the weather picks up. And both your awnings operate the same way. They give you some outside outlets right here. Plug in a TV or whatever you want on the outside of your coach. There is a propane hookup. I'll point out. Maybe get a label maker and label it for yourself, but you have your LP quick connect right here for a grill. If you want to plug in a grill, you can do that. They give you a step light, an amber step light. The switch for that step light's on the inside. I'll show you how to use these steps. I know it's funny to say that these are the older steps, but they are aluminum steps with steel outsides. So you still want to lube this and paint it as it get older, but these are aluminum steps. And then shut your door, and then lift up on your grab handle. You got a little I'm going to call it an outside entertainment center. It's basically what it is, right? So you got a radio sitting right there, so you can play CDs, DVD player with your outside TV. That's self-explanatory. You got some outside speakers right there. I'm going to point out the trail air suspension. It's an easy toe suspension. It just makes it a little easier on chuck holes when you're going down the road. Cable slide mechanism. I'll mention that real quick while I'm standing here. There's 3 different slides in my opinion. You got your rack and pinion, you got your Schwinn Tech, and then you got your cable slide mechanism, okay? I prefer the cable slides personally because the motor's on the inside of the coach, so if you were to get in a low power, bad motor, slide won't move situation, or you can't figure it out, just a drill and an Allen head on an extension, the motor's on the inside, you remove the fascia and you can bring your slide in or take it out, and I'll show you that on the inside where that's located, so you can bring your slide in and out safely. You got a Suburban hot water tank, anal rod, brand new plug, so you'll want to replace this once a year. It's brand new. You have a steel tank, so this eats the minerals on the inside so that the tank doesn't rust inside out, okay? To turn it on electric, you're going to have your on and off switch right here to turn on the heat element. And then if it were not to light on electric for some reason or blow, you got resets right here. And then this is your pressure release valve. You always want to make sure you release the pressure in the tank before pulling the plug, right? So this would be under pressure from your water pump. You want to release the pressure and then pull your plug. It's got a backup camera already on here, pretty cool. It's set up on the back there. This model is a double refrigerator, okay? So you're gonna have 2 access panels to the back of your refrigerator. And if anybody ever, these are condensation tubes. So if you wanna tuck them up, you can. Some people have them out, some people make them long. In my 20 years, I've barely seen any condensation ever come out of those tubes, so. But they're there for that reason, so that way water doesn't leak back inside your camper, okay? Or a room on the floor. Spare tire and carrier, 50 amp marine grade power cord. So if you're gonna reduce this down, just remember you're gonna go from 50 amps to 30 amps to 15 amps to plug in at home, okay? So that would be the process to break it down. You got a ladder on the back, crowned roof, 300-pound weight limit on the ladder. You get up there and check your seals 3 times a year. You want to get up there and inspect your seals 3 times a year. Exhaust for your furnace. I got it running. Again, you got your cable slides. The customers who previously owned this installed slide toppers. That's huge. So that way it kicks all the debris off, tree branches, leaves, snow, rain, all that type of stuff, protecting the tops of your slide. The reason why they didn't put one on the door side is because that second slide out goes over the slide. So when the awning's out, it's protecting your slide out. I'm gonna point down there just to make it easy for us, but that is your 2 low point drains and your rear sink gray water drain and cable. So it's deployed out right now and open, and then that's for your gray water. And then we're gonna run into your black water and your main gray up front here. And it's labeled on here, but when the slide's out, it makes it a little hard to get to. So remember, you're gonna have 2 gray waters. That's for your rear, because there's a sink back there, and then this is where your bathroom's at, okay? So your black water and then your gray water. So you're gonna have, some people buy a Y and run 2 10-footers to it, right? And then 1 off into the dump station if you're going to do full hookup. So just remember you're going to have 2 gray waters. So in this case, this is your main. Gray water's on the right, black water's on the left. So you'll hook your hose up to here, put it into the dump station, pull your gray water, let it run. Make sure you go inside, get your toilet chemicals down your toilet, breaking down the waste in your toilet paper. You always want to do that. Let your tank fill up. Leave the chemical in the toilet, in the black water tank or down the toilet, however you want to look at it, until you're either done camping or it's full. That's important if you want to keep it clean, okay? And then when it's full or you're done camping, you'll come outside, you'll pull that guy and release it. you have, they call this a universal docking center, okay? Keystone's version of it. It's kind of cool. So they give you a quick connect. We're going to call it an outside shower for lack of, better words. So hot and cold water, but you got a quick connect hose that you hook to this, and then you can get a sprayer nozzle on there. But this is your city water connection. This is the kickstand for this lid. So just be careful of it. It's designed to go right here so that that's your kickstand, okay? But if you don't remember you did that, you can break it very easily. So, it's up to you how you want to do it. City water tank fill. So if you're going to fill your onboard freshwater tank, you're going to take this blue knot handle and flip it up to tank fill, hooked to this port right here. So now it's filling your onboard freshwater tank, okay? Makes sense? So if you're going to use your water pump, take a shower in the middle of nowhere, you want to wash your hands in the middle of nowhere, you're going to make sure you fill your freshwater tank. If you're hooked to a city water, meaning a hose at a campground or at your house, you're going to put this in city water connection right there, and then now you got constant pressure to your sink, shower, and toilet. And if you're curious what this is the tank vent. So that's when you're filling up your freshwater tank, that's your overflow or breather for the tank, okay? City water connection, freshwater tank fill, black water tank flush. It's labeled right here that this is your black water tank flush. So when you're done camping or your black water tank is full, you want to unhook your city water connection, hook it to your black water, and then it power washes your black water tank while you're dumping, okay? When you deploy your black water valve. Very important. And then it labels it here, satellite and cable, tank flush. It should say black water tank flush. That's what this guy is right here. And then you got your tank fill and city water. Pretty self-explanatory, pretty easy. I'm gonna let him look at this real quick just to focus on it, just to show you how to operate your jacks. This should stay there. Take a picture of it so you keep it in case the sticker ever gets faded or gets destroyed by any way. Download the LCI app to your phone so you have all the information that you need about your jack system and or your camper and components inside. But inside here, it's going to be tough to see, is your one-touch auto leveling jack button. That's how you're going to level your camper. So these actually stabilize and level your RV by operating this. So I'm going to point on this because you can see it. So B, you're going to turn it on. This will come on. You'll get orange lights on the side, letting you know what side you're on level. And then when you hit auto level, it'll start to flash green on the center. That's letting you know that your jacks are starting to deploy and level your RV. When it's completely level, it'll say successful, or you'll see a solid green light in the center. So it's, you'll see that on this board right here, but it's tough to show on the camera. This red switch right here is your battery disconnect switch. Always remember, if the key is out, it only comes out in the off position. If you want to charge your RV and you're going to plug it in for storage, or you're going to plug it in and you think you're charging your RV, this has to be in the on position. If it's in the off position and you're plugged in, it will not charge your battery. So remember that, okay? And then a quick little note, solar panel prep. If you want to hook up a Furrion solar panel, it's pre-wired and prepped for that. And then you got your battery on the front, and we're ready to go inside. It's gorgeous, huge, nice, big, open floor plan. Love it. It's in good shape, 2018. I'm going to start by the door because that's where all the controls are at. But or 90% of how you're going to work your RV is right here. Safety devices, I always like to point them out. You got your LP detector and CO detector down there on the ground. Fire extinguishers always next to the door. And then the smoke detector is right up above that window right there. So you guys know where your fire detector is at. Now moving on to your board here, you got your thermostat. I got your furnace on. Just remember that your mode button is your mode button, right? It cycles through your furnace, off, fan, and then cool is the air conditioner. Okay, so I'm going to take it back to the furnace. Now, if for some reason somebody switches it from Celsius to Fahrenheit by accident, these two buttons got pressed. So right now it's saying it's 21 degrees, right? You'd be like, oh my God, it's 21 degrees. So if that ever happens, just make sure you touch both arrows and it'll take you back. So you know it's 70 degrees in your coach, or the temperature's at. This is your levels for your RV. Now remember, in used campers, sometimes the sensors get gummed up or clogged. So don't be warned or nervous if you see something on the black water. That's normal. So it's showing you right here, your freshwater tank is empty, battery's full and charging. Blackwater 1 empty, Blackwater 2, which you don't have. You have gray water 1 and gray water 2, which are both empty. Okay. Now, going back to that hot water tank button that I showed you on the outside, that red button with the switch on it, with the 0 and the line is an on position. If you want it to work on electric, that has to be in the on position, and you have to have this in the on position, okay? And then it'll work on electric. If you want it to run on gas, you're going to turn that on. This light's going to come on. Then after a few seconds, it'll go off and stay off. They want to stay off. If you ever look up and these are in the on position and that light is on, it means your hot water tank did not light. Check your propane, check your power, something happened. So you never want to see a light there. So if you see a red light, figure out what happened. Your low propane ran out of propane, you got a leak somewhere, something occurred. Floodlight on the outside, ceiling lights on the inside. That's your front LED lights on the front cad there. Porch light, and then that amber step light's right here. And then this is your water pump button. I'll flip it on real quick, but you don't never want to run it dry, and especially when it's winter time, you don't want to have that on. This is your main awning button. That's the one that's on your main entry door, okay? This operates that awning to bring it in and out. And then these are your main slide buttons to operate a slide. So I'm going to pull one slide in so you can see it move. And it's on the cables. And if we're lucky enough, we'll be able to see some of the pulley system on the camera. So you can kind of see how it operates on the pulley system. So it's pulling the slide in all four corners, and the motor is actually in the center. Maybe we can get lucky and see it. Yeah, right there. So you can see the motor that you can put your drill and attachment to, and that'll actually bring the slide in and out with that attachment. You remove the front fascia, this part right here, take this off, and then it's got screw, pop it off, and then you stick your drill and attachment, and then you can bring the drill in and out manually. So you don't have to drop your underbelly, lay on your back to manually bring a slide in, like most models. And that's what it should sound like. That's how it should move. It should pull in all four corners evenly. It shouldn't rock, dance, jump. This is exactly how it should work. Perfect. So you got all three slide buttons right here on this panel. And it's letting you know this sticker, so if anybody's curious why the sticker's here, it says battery hookup required for slide operation. So you have to have at least a dead battery on the front while you're plugged in, or your slides won't move. The converter's not strong enough to create enough 12-volt battery power to operate your slides. All your lights would dim, your slides would barely move. So you need at least a dead battery on the front for your slides to operate. So if you remove your battery from the front and you plug in, your slides will not move, okay? Bathroom, pretty easy. Quick little bit. I showed you the thermostat. That turns on your front air conditioner, and then you have a rear air AC that was installed. with a heat strip, it looks like. So you'll operate your air conditioner from here. So it says optional heat. So you'll turn this to hot, turn it on heat, and then if you're going to turn it on air conditioner, turn it to the snowflake, and then flip it to the cold versus the gray. And you'll see that on the bottom there. Sliding glass doors, place for another television. And on these clips, remember, pull towards you. Don't push you in, don't pull up, you'll break it. Just clips real nice and easy, pull real nice and easy, and then your doors slide. You got some hangers, it looks like, and 2 extra chairs for your dinette table. That's where they ride so they don't fly around your camper. Emergency exit windows right here. Lift up, push, and then bail out. Hopefully you'll never have to use it. So I showed you your main awning button, right? To move your awning in and out. This is to move the awning that's on this slide. Over your TV on this side is right here. This brings it in and out, and this turns on the LED light strip. Remote for your fireplace. Remember, it's 5,200 BTUs of electric heat, so it's actually throwing off a good amount of heat from your fireplace. You can turn that off if you'd like and just have the ambiance of the fireplace. So you can change it, you know, however you want. Different levels. I like that they keep with the same manufacturer. So you got a Furrion backup camera, Furrion solar panel prep, Furrion radio. This is the remote for it. It's DVD, CD player, Zone 1, Zone 2. Zone 1's inside speakers, Zone 2's outside speakers. It's Bluetooth. Look it up online. There's all kinds of information about it. But it's Bluetooth paired to your phone. Enjoy it. Have fun. TV remote for your Summit TV. We'll just kick her on there so you know she works. Any light that doesn't come on with a light switch, you push in on it. So if it doesn't come on with a light switch, just remember you're going to push in. Batteries. We're plugged in. So that's that guy. And always make sure when you put in your table, we got it tied down. So this is how it should travel. Obviously this pedestal goes up and you can put the screws back in the floor if you want to, but then it wobbles like this when you're going down the road and can cause damage. So this is the best way to travel with it. Refrigerators. I'll talk about one of them. They're completely identical. You can run one, you can run them both. If you want to run them both. But so you always want to put it on auto. So see how it's on check? That means it's not lit, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to switch it over to auto. Check light will go off. Now that we're plugged in, it'll go to its nearest power source, which is always 110. The reason why the check light was on is because the propane was off and it was unplugged. So it went to a check mode because it was on gas. So anytime you're sitting here on auto and you're plugged in, it's on 110. If you unplug, it automatically switches over to gas. That's where you want to leave it. If you select gas, the auto light will go off and it'll just run on gas till you're out of propane or your battery dies or whichever comes first, okay? So auto is your best friend. And then this is your thermostat right here. This is how you turn it up. You always want to leave it on the last fin. That's its coolest point. If it's getting too cold in your refrigerator, you can unclip it, move it down a couple fins, and then it'll cool to that point right there. Pretty easy. Converter and fuse box right here and breakers. So you got 110 breakers for 110 big problems. Anything that's 110. Microwave, air conditioner, outlets, 110. That'll be down here. Anything 12 volt, these are your 12 volt fuses. If one of these fuses were to blow, you'll get a red LED light that you'll see through this little window right here, indicating that fuse blew. Water pump, furnace, hot water tank, lights. So just remember that's how that stuff goes. I'll light one of your burners for you real quick. Turn that to light. Give it just, you don't have to, I watch people do this, you don't have to do that. Just one time. That's all you need. That's it. And this is the best way to bleed the air out of your lines when you first get your propane tanks filled for the first time or get them refilled. You always want to bleed the air out of the lines by lighting these burners. That's your best bet, okay? And then light your appliances, your furnace, your hot water tank, your refrigerator. Well, I think that's about it, guys. Congratulations on the purchase of your new Laredo. I'm Chris Rohde from National RV.